tips would you offer women entrepreneurs who are considering sourcing venture capital?
I guess I don't. Okay, I'll address it in two ways.
Okay.
Overwhelmingly, I would say the advice I would give you is the exact same advice I would give a man, which is make sure that you've got a product or a concept built before you go see VCs. Make sure you're very well researched. Make sure you've got a team. Make sure you get access to a VC in the right way. Yes, you can write them directly, but it's always better if you get introduced from somebody that matters. You know, so be passionate about what you're building. Have a dialogue, not just a presentation. So all that's the same.
Okay.
Pemo, I wrote a blog post once called "Deal with the Elephant in the Room."
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
I actually never said this, but the impetus for that was a discussion I had with my wife. When she was going in to interview for a job, and we had 2 kids, and she was interviewing with Google, my advice to her, and I guess as my wife, I'm allowed to say this, I said, say to the interviewer, I can't remember what she was at the time, maybe 34, 35. Let's say 35. No, she was probably 36. I'm 36 or 37. I just don't even remember. Let's call it 37.
Yeah.
I'm 37. Yeah. I have 2 kids, but I'm a professional mom. I value my career. I balance the things well. I don't plan to have more kids. This is, I'm looking to build a career. And what I encourage her to do, and I'm not saying all your viewers have to go that far, but I'll at least tell you my advice to my wife, which was legally people can't ask that stuff. And I hope I'm legally allowed to openly talk about it, but people can't ask that stuff. But I guarantee you it's in their minds. And it's not just in the minds of men, it's in the minds of women. Like, okay, I'm going to give this person $3 million, and are they going to be on 6-month maternity leave in a year?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's okay to be upfront about that kind of stuff. And people can't ask it, but they're still thinking it. So, you know, if you're 28, you know, I don't think people would judge it necessarily at 28, but like if you hit an age and they know you're married and they're not going to ask, but you could lead with, listen, I'm professional, I'm committed, I'm not planning to have children for 7 years, or, you know, maybe you are. And then it's okay to talk about that too. But whatever you can do to try to address that issue, I don't know. I guess I think it, you know, I would be disingenuous if I didn't say that I think they're thinking it anyway.
Yes, no, I agree. And like you said, just deal with it really yourself, because the interviewer obviously can't. So, yeah, great.
The nicest lady was in my office today. Harvard Law School. Worked for one of the top law firms in America. Ex-investment banker. Incredibly bright. Really well researched on her topic. And I went through more than an hour with her, and I promised to introduce her to some angels in town. And I left the room, and she called me back. And she brought me all the way back in, and she said to me, Mark, I just want to tell you I have a young baby. And I said, well, okay, thanks for telling me. And she's like, well, I knew you were about to introduce me to a bunch of angels, and I just wanted to be sure you knew that beforehand. And by the way, I've never written a blog post saying talk about this kind of stuff.
No, I know.
Because I don't want to be slammed by anyone who interprets that in the wrong way. I'm trying to do something positive. And what a nice gesture on her behalf. I mean, I don't think different about her. I know she can manage that.
You have stressed on your blog that you value the quality of integrity very high for entrepreneurs. As per your post, I would only fund an entrepreneur with high integrity. I quote you in that post, "Money can buy a lot of things, but as the saying goes, it can't in and of itself buy you happiness. I believe that true happiness comes from a sense of fulfillment, giving and doing what your moral compass knows is right." I remember reading an entrepreneur's blog post a few months back where he stated that you cannot extend your personal moral code to business. At the end of the day, it's just about profits. Mark, do you think that high integrity can make or break a startup? And do you feel that high integrity can contribute to the success of a great startup? Do you have any advice or encouragement for those of us entrepreneurs who believe, as you obviously do, that integrity and staying firm to your moral code can contribute to your success rather than hold you back?
Listen, if I remember correctly, because I'm not looking at the post.
Yes.
I think what I said is I believe in integrity.
Yes.
But I didn't add it to my original list of attributes for an entrepreneur.
That's correct.
And what I said was, I think, I'll paraphrase, unfortunately, I know some quite senior people in industry who are very wealthy and who I don't consider to have the same integrity standards I do.
Yes.
And that would point to me the fact that sometimes in business one can get ahead without the same moral code that the rest of us may have.
Okay.
If you look at the extreme accounting scandals of the last 10 years,
yes.
I think data would bore that out, whether it's, what happened at Wang or Computer Associates or,
yes.
Any number of places,
yes.
MicroStrategy. I don't remember all of the places where there were scandals.
Yes.
And even some of the most revered leaders in India also had big accounting scandals. But, for me, life is short. I don't need to work with people I consider bad people.
Yes, okay.
And, I guess my partners sometimes are probably tired of it. Like, we'll have an entrepreneur come in, and at the end of the pitch, they'll be talking about the business, and I'll be saying, yeah, but I'm telling you, there's something shady about that guy. He wasn't truthful with his answers or whatever. Like, I immediately hone in on that. And if I feel people are misstating stuff, hiding facts, exaggerating, telling half-truths,
yes.
We're done.
So, just to go back to my original question, because I'm curious, you don't really feel that it's an either-or then, is what I'm gathering, that if you hold high integrity, it doesn't mean that you'll be a success or failure, but that possibly you'll be more fulfilled in whatever it is that you do. Am I on the right track?
I think integrity is important, so there's no other way I could emphasize it other than to say that, because
okay.
you still have to sleep in your own bed at night. And
exactly.
I've always had this view, which is a lot of people lie to other people, and you lie to yourself, and you start to convince yourself that what you're saying is true.
Yes.
But I think your inner core really knows the truth.
Yes.
So when you're doing things that are bad, I think you know it. And
yes.
you've got to convince yourself otherwise. And I think it leads to a lot of unhappiness.
Yes.
But do I think being high integrity in and of itself has a higher probability of success? I don't know. It's kind of hard to argue.
Okay.
I would like to hope so.
Yes.